Welcome, everybody, here at Culture Core Academy. I'm Ping. This is Caleb.
Hey,
And today we're going to talk about apparently how easy it is to get red out of your ledger. This is our Black Widow movie spoiler review.
hey, Widows Unite. And you did definitely just hear my guy Ping say spoiler review. So to be very clear, what that means is that hell yeah, we about to talk about the things that actually happened in this movie.
Yes.
We are going to say the thing. We're going to beat around the bush and say you should go check it out. We're just going to talk about it. So if you are watching this, we're going to assume that either you've seen the movie already and you want to see if what you thought and what we thought is similar, or you haven't seen the movie yet and you still were just so eager to hear these wonderful voices and hear from these nice comedic minds that you're watching it before you go see the movie. Either way, you've just been told that we're going to talk about the movie, so don't be trying to come holler at us about we ruined anything. We told y'all.
Your warning was now. Moving along.
It has to be said that this is a big deal for us in a way because it's been such a long time that we've went without a Marvel movie.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, looking back, this is the first movie we've seen from Marvel since 2019. Well, what was the last one that we saw, Ping?
Far From Home, Spider-Man Far From Home. We've
yeah.
gotten a lot of MCU content since then, but now the MCU is back in these streets.
Yep. We have gotten the content. We're not going to come out here with the cap and say we haven't got the content. Disney Plus has been smacking, and honestly, when you look at their release calendar and you see what's coming up, they're going to keep smacking.
That's not over with.
It's not over with, but we're happy to see the big box movies back because we should have already seen this movie last year. And it sucked that we had to wait, but we're glad we got to see it now.
We should have seen this movie in 2017.
Ooh, well, look, you heard it here. This is the latest that we could have seen this movie. And you know what? We could complain a little bit about that, and we probably will do that some more later. But for now, we're just gonna get in and talk about it.
Yeah, we're just going to...
First off, we kind of see a redone origin story with Black Widow. How do you really feel about that?
I know that the MCU likes to differ from the comic book origins.
True.
And
Yep.
it makes sense to do so in a lot of ways when you have established canon starting from Iron Man 1. Makes a lot of sense to, have to rewrite a lot of different stuff from there. I understand that. But there was no reason why they couldn't have incorporated Black Widow's actual past and the length of it.
Yep.
The length of it, because we're dealing with a super soldier, and that's not a spoiler, by the way, because you've known about the super soldier since the trailers from like 2 years ago.
Yep.
So I don't want to hear that. But there's no reason they couldn't have done a more proper origin story, because with as deep as her character has already gone within the MCU, I feel like with the lore that they have available to them, they could have explored that, or at least said it.
I mean, you make a good case. I mean, there's so many cool aspects of that original origin story that you would have at least hoped that you would kind of see in some bits and pieces here.
Yeah.
But instead, we didn't get that. And what we did get is this kind of oddly American picturesque scene of a young Natasha and with her sister and the fam in 1995 Ohio. Now, that in and of itself isn't really a big deal, but honestly, the thing that was kind of a big deal for me is Widow's origin story and the way it was presented was based heavily on the FX series The Americans.
I didn't watch all of that. I didn't watch much of that at all, but you're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're very right.
I'll be brief when I tell y'all this. If you ain't watched The Americans, you really should, because that was some super quality TV that flew under way too many people's radars. Very similar, because the whole premise of the show was this Russian couple that was impersonating as Americans, but really they were Russian spies. And they were having to keep all that from the neighbors, and they were running around doing, their usual espionage, spy-like things, much like we see Natasha's family doing at the beginning. So they kind of lose some points from that for me for just doing an origin story that in my opinion, definitely wasn't better than Natasha's comic origin, and also was just barred straight up from another TV show. Even down to Alexi, Red Guardian's American kind of setup and appearance looked eerily similar to Philip's appearance on the Americans. So, that's just something I had to notice in passing. But what the origin story did kind of do for us is, again, reiterate and show you, man, Natasha's life has been kind of messed up for a very long time.
Yeah, but it's always that, and it's been kind of given. That's the character. We always knew that.
That's true.
Like since the little illusion in what was it, Avengers 1?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
We've always been aware of that.
But I guess like seeing it there in person, it's like, oh man, it really was that bad. Dang, girl.
It's Black Widow.
Dang, girl.
What, you think Wolverines ain't gonna be messed up when they finally introduce dude?
That's true. That's true. You're right. You're right. So,
But you're right though. I'm glad they should establish their characters being messed up. I guess they
established the character. I mean, she gets everything ripped away from her in an instant, really. Yeah. And then, she's split up from her sister as both of them are thrown into the infamous Red Room programming.
Programming that creates Black Widow. So you can see Black Widow isn't the only Black Widow. Just like, I'm not the only Winter Soldier.
Just like there's not the only Winter Soldier. Just like, hey, White Vision's still out there somewhere.
Ship of Theseus. I can't believe I did it. But
Ship of Theseus. Yeah, you know what it is. But hey, push it forward again with the Black Widow. We jump back to Widow, and I guess the current time for the movie, which if you've forgotten about that, the current time for this Black Widow movie is all of this is taking place directly after the events of Civil War, a.k.a. they've already had the fight at the airport.
This is post-credit scene where everybody else has already been arrested, and we see a very useless Thunderbolt Ross.
Ross
ghosted for the first time in this movie.
All he did was talk on the phone and look dumb.
I've seen more of him in trailers than I have in this movie.
Look, Natasha show did make fun of dude's health. Say, man, your heart trash, bro. Like she really cut hard to the matter. She basically told that dude, yo, you need to sit down and eat some Cheerios, lower your cholesterol, my guy. Mm-hmm. It was brutal, but yeah, she ghosts Thunderbolt. We'll go ahead and tell you now. Yo, he ain't getting no redemption. You didn't even get no little Thunderbolts teaser or anything.
No, none of that.
Well, they just moved on. He just served as a little plot point to show you how sneaky Natasha is.
After she disappears on Dune, we meet in Morocco with Yelena, and she gets freed from mind control by another former Black Widow, who she ends up killing. But on the other Black Widow's, I guess last breath, she frees Yelena.
Yep.
We see Yelena grab the vials of serum.
Yep.
And then we see her take off with him, and then we also see that the other Black Widows make her a prime target.
Yeah, she's now being chased. As soon as she took the implant device up out of her leg, they instantly were just like, all right, we got to kill her now.
So after that, we make our way over to Natasha getting dropped off in Norway. Then she sees her private contractor that dude from Handmaid's Tale, and he leaves her with a trailer and some mail from Budapest. And unknowingly to Natasha, we know it because they just showed it in the same box. Unknowing to Natasha, though, she has those same vials of serum sent to her from her sister Yelena, and she's not aware of it, but Taskmaster is.
Taskmaster straight up said, screw you, Natasha, to any sort of like little nice night of normalcy you had. Natasha just thought she was going to go into town and, fix up the generator, get some gas for it, and just go on about her day, and proceeds to get rocked on the street.
Tasha got Doctor Strange origin storied by Taskmaster.
It looked brutal.
And there were no qualms with just laying straight hands immediately because a fight we got. This was an immediate, okay, this is a hands movie. This is where we're going to see these action scenes, and this was one of them. Lots of fire, lots of debris, and lots of scrapping. We see immediately that, Taskmaster can do what Taskmaster does in the comics, which is replicate people's moves. And he uses them on Natasha.
He throwing that shield hard.
And we also noticed that this shield is not like Cap's shield, even though he's trying to use Cap's style.
Yep,
This shield
trying
just
to.
sticks into stuff. This shield just wedges its way into other materials.
Yep,
It does not bounce.
It don't bounce for nothing.
Yeah, it just remains where it was
out here.
started.
That's the great value Cap shield.
Very brutal.
Very brutal.
Yes.
But yeah, so they have their little, I guess, fight there on the bridge. I thought we saw some kind of cool moves. Natasha being a little resourceful before basically she's just like outmatched by the super strength Taskmaster got, and proceeds to get yeeted off into the water.
Mm-hmm. But not before she leaves the box without the vials.
Bum, bum, bum.
Now, here's my question. The movie just takes a quick turn, and she is
Here we
in
go.
Budapest,
Here
and
we
she
go.
hops out of the water in Budapest. So did she just swim to Budapest?
She swam really fast. Wherever she went.
And
was
it did
real
not
fast.
take her clothes long to dry off at all.
She used that
No
Loki, she used that
hypothermia.
Loki magic.
And just, I want to know how easy that was for her. But okay, so they get there. They get to Budapest. She sees Yelena. They get to jacking and then quickly make up. They mature. They realize that, neither one of them is under mind control, so we can have this talk after they about to choke each other out with a freaking
With some curtains.
tablecloth. With some curtains.
All right, man, about to get suffocated with some drapes.
And then after that, it's vodka time.
A lot of that happening. They wanted to make sure we all remembered that all these people were Russian and they like vodka.
That was their main tell, apparently, in this movie. So after vodka, they decide they're going to go break Red Guardian, Alexei, out of prison.
Definitely not because they really just like had a heart and wanted a heartwarming moment. They missed their father, but basically they figure he's going to be the best person we can go to figure out how we can locate wherever the Red Room is at now. Because during that conversation / fight that the sisters had, Yelena basically had to tell Natasha, like, hey, I know you think you handled your business with Joykov, but you didn't actually confirm the kill. You didn't get the dog tags like on Call of Duty. He's still alive. And
You only killed his daughter. Good job.
you only killed his daughter, which, by the way, kind of messed up. Like, definitely a messed up
Natasha.
act from Natasha. And I guess we can
Made the call, though.
just send in the kid with the booby trap bomb.
Back when she still had her Russian accent.
She was still super cold-blooded with it then, too. Clearly, before she became an Avenger.
So when they get done doing all their vodka drinking, they contact Tasha's arms dealer again from Handmaid's Tale, and he provides them with a helicopter instead of a jet like she requested. That's very mighty grateful of you, Natasha, to bring that up. But so then they go and break Alexei out of prison, and we get to the prison, and we see it's a an isolated prison.
I mean, first of all, not only is it isolated,
mountains.
this ish, we go inside and we see basically Alexei's just like living in there like it's Siberian Oz.
Yeah, but he must be the top dog because this guy has super strength, and you see him breaking people's hands. But it gave me strong Deadpool vibes, Deadpool 2, while they were in prison.
Yeah, I got that. Definitely a lot more of that going on. But I will say the escaping part of Alexei leaving the prison definitely kind of reminded me of the prison scene from Guardians.
Yeah, didn't think about that. Yeah.
which was a really cool and fun scene, and so was this one. When I think back about the Black Widow movie, this escape scene I think is going to be one of the ones that sticks in my mind for the longest.
These action sequences are the highlight of the movie. These
Agreed.
action
I'd have
sequences
to agree with that.
are what the movie is there for. This is what you go see. Or not for a Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, Kevin Feige.
Man, as you can see, he didn't take it very well. He didn't take
I
it
sure
very
did
well
not.
at all.
I saw a Shang-Chi trailer that got released a couple of weeks ago.
Yep, that same Shang-Chi trailer we've all been seeing. So saw that again. So
But-
that was fun.
I digress. I apologize. I was using our time unwisely.
So yeah. Anyways, they do succeed in busting Red Guardian out
Yes.
of prison. The problem is that dude is zero help in actually helping them figure out the Red Room, mainly because he kind of realized that like, he got betrayed too, and that's how he ended up in prison.
Dreykov just put him in prison for no reason because,
Yeah.
he couldn't
Just
handle
'cause-
it.
Yeah, just because he too strong, couldn't handle him.
Life
They
in
put him-
prison.
Put him in prison.
Slow down.
All of this leads us to bringing in the fourth member of the family, the
Melina.
sisters, and Alexei go hunt down Melina, the mother figure from their family. Now, Melina has been out in Russia and working for Droykov, doing some experimental projects, you would say, that are super problematic.
Yeah, she's doing mind control on pigs with English.
She's basically the one that set up that whole next wave of Black Widow soldiers, that are in a sense evolved even past, like Yelena kind of made that point. You and your programming, brainwashing, what's happening here is a complete, mental and neuron pathway takeover in somebody's head.
Yes.
Very, very different level of control.
Yeah. Not just suggestion.
People are literally in this situation being forced to do things that they are aware that they are doing and don't want to, but can't stop themselves from doing. So that's a whole other level of ethical problems, if you will.
Yeah.
But they go there, they talk to her, like they talk to her. It doesn't seem to go well. All of the family emotions kind of start spilling out at that point, man. A lot of family counseling was probably needed at that time.
I wasn't a big fan of old Widia's family reunion scene.
Hey, you better chill out. That kind of disdain towards family talk. Dominic Toretto be done busted up in here, man. Let me tell you this. Family was a big part of this movie.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I know that Dominic Toretto would wholeheartedly approve of said movie.
Natasha had left her, was taken away from her family, and had to make a new family that was taken away from her, and now she had to go back to her other family so she could fix her family.
Inception family. Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it.
So that went down, and it seems as if Melina gave Dreykov the drop on the crew.
Snitched on him.
And so they get sedated, and they all wind up in the Red Room, which is almost like an Avengers sort of
Avengers
sky base.
Yeah, an Avengers compound up in the sky. They basically they just like retrofitted like Kami's Lookout
Yeah, it's up there.
from Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, they
Took
just
the ladder.
They took all that over.
And so we get there, and we very quickly see Dreykov. When we get to this part, we're in the final act of the movie pretty much, and it's drawn out. I would say it's drawn out, but they give it a little bit of time. And we see Dreykov, and we figure out more of Dreykov's atrocities, if you will. What he's done in the past and who her mother is. But before we do that, we realize that when he's apprehended, he has Natasha apprehended, he has Alexei apprehended, and he has Yelena apprehended, about to perform cranial surgery on her while she's conscious. And Melina is giving him information that he's requesting, and she's trying to fight it a little bit, like not wanting to do the mind control things that he wants her to do on specifically Yelena and Natasha, because he wants her to sleep her cell. That's an Avenger.
Which, if you're going to be a villain, that seems like a very villainous ambition to have.
Smart, but still screw dude. But anyway, so we figure out that with a nice Captain America and the Winter Soldier Easter egg, Melina and Natasha have switched identities, and Melina was captured along with Alexei and Yelena. And
Fooled y'all with the face switch.
then we get some nice dialogue between Dreykov and Natasha, and we figure out Natasha still has some mind control elements inside of her because she can't physically harm Dreykov.
Yeah, I gotta say though, I thought the putting in the tidbit about the pheromones as the reasoning was kind of a different and kind of a clever way to explain it.
Yeah.
I kind of dug.
Yeah, because that's something they didn't think about that issue yet. So it was there. You're right. I agree with
I
that.
thought it was a little small thing. It's not nothing over exaggerated, but it worked for me.
Yeah.
I thought it made
That
sense.
did work for me. And then we get the big twist of the movie, which is where me and Caleb start to have real problems with the movie. Outside of Natasha's origin, we figure out that Taskmaster is also Dreykov's daughter that Natasha supposedly killed.
Also did not confirm that kill either.
You mean to tell me that in this whole Infinity Saga, after she sacrificed herself for the Soul Stone, but you didn't tell us that she didn't really have no red on her ledger, that wasn't real?
I mean, I'm just saying, it just didn't seem right, man. Like, this whole time, we've been led to believe Natasha, cold-blooded killer past, super spy. She kills people and she don't even care. She don't even care like that. But then we get to this whole movie and it's all centered around two people that she actively wanted to kill. It wasn't business. It was personal.
That didn't die.
And she didn't kill him. Like, man, that's not good. That's not a good look, Natasha.
No, it's not. And so then we also have an issue with that's not Anthony Masters. It's not the Taskmaster.
It's not. Why? Why we have to do that?
I guess they needed a twist.
Man, sometimes y'all be twisting the wrong things.
And Caleb and I are a bit bitter because Caleb and I spent a lot of time in college together and separately playing Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yup.
And Taskmaster was one of the rawest characters in that game.
He was regularly picked by both of us in our friends.
Yes.
He was raw in that game. Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Y'all know what it is.
So even though we didn't get a particularly comic accurate version, we didn't get the cold-blooded version that we thought we were getting.
Mm-hmm. But what we do see is that the hero crew were able to kind of, I guess, gather the things together. Yelena comes through and bails out Widow, which she needs to, because when she gets to Widow
she was getting jumped.
Widow was getting straight up jumped. Like she was trying to cross into a gang by a gaggle of Widow soldiers
under mind control.
And I think I'd have to say, when it comes to like the fight scene situation, that scene before she starts getting like just jumped when they're as actual fight, that's probably the highlight fight scene.
Yeah, because she was handling
the movie.
She was handling them. It wasn't like she just started getting jumped. No. She faded plenty of them before they started to get the drop on her.
Yeah, she was putting in that work.
It was still our Natasha that we talked about.
That was a pleasure to watch, but it did not end good. She was very thankful that her sister came through with that save, and with the save came with the liberation of even more Widow soldiers.
Mm-hmm. Tons of them, because he had them all over the world and he had control of them. Where she garnered the control and then freed them. And just to add on to what Caleb was saying, what we were saying, she was not just getting completely faded just because she was getting jumped. She was not just getting handled because she couldn't stab dude. I leaned over to Caleb in probably about the middle of the movie during some fight scene, and they were trying to fight her, and I was like, isn't she on the run? So y'all know who that is, and like, so y'all know that she shoots at aliens and stuff, right? Like y'all aren't in her league.
Like she didn't smack like a whole bunch of Chitauri and everything.
Yeah, y'all are not. Y'all are short work here.
Like what y'all about to do? But okay. Keep being dumb.
She fights gods.
Right. So they have their whole situation. Natasha and Taskmaster, obviously, she's feeling kind of weird because she's taking a lot of personal responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, for Taskmaster. So things kind of get weird, but ultimately they never really get to kick off there. Things start going haywire on the ship as soon as Milena makes the call to blow up one of the engines. But you know what? Hey, she communicated that very well.
Yeah, she did. And so this is another one of those big action scenes that we were talking about. That's a movie highlight. This one will go down as one of the best scenes in the movie where the mass escape. Dreykov makes his way out. Yelena and Alexei make their way out. Big Red Guardian.
Right, because Big Red Guardian, he's still here in the movie. And we're saying that because if you saw, as you will see earlier, it seemed like he was primed and ready, at least in my mind. I thought Red Guardian was supposed to be the sacrifice for Taskmaster. There was a scene where they got out of their cages and they were looking at each other, and you thought they were getting ready to fight, and then it never really materialized.
Yeah, that fight scene that was teased in the trailer between those two, that was teased in the trailer.
You know what you saw there? That's what you saw. It's very sad. It was swerve.
A very big swerve leading into we get a nice escape scene from everyone. Melina and Alexei are escaping together. We get Natasha escaping by herself. We get Yelena escaping by herself.
Yep.
And then they
Dramatic
meet up.
parachute rescue.
Taskmaster shows back up. And Natasha goes for her. Goes for Taskmaster. That gets taken care of really quickly once they reach the ground. It doesn't take them too long to reach the ground once you see everybody's out because at this point they've already killed Dreykov.
Yeah, Elena handled Dreykov.
And now we're back on ground level with planes and parachutes rescuing people, and we realize that the movie is in its final scenes, like final moments.
Hitting that home stretch.
We're in the home stretch, and Caleb and I have realized that Taskmaster didn't catch a single body.
Nope, and it doesn't happen at all because what happens at the end of that fight? Black Widow manages to open up a vial and free Taskmaster. Now we got woke Taskmaster.
Yeah. By the way, this stuff this is not Pym particles like everybody thought it was in the trailer.
It's not Pym particles. Please don't do some dumb ish like go watch the movie and still come out talking about there's some Pym particles.
Please don't go watch the movie hoping you're going to see a bunch of Avengers references because all they do is roast Black Widow for being in the Avengers.
That's it, really.
Her sister roasts her, Pops roasts her, Mama brings it up.
That's not really a thing at all. So I mean, but yeah, you see, they let Taskmaster see the light and everything's kind of wrapping up. And yeah, I gotta say, talking on the negative side of things a little bit, that's a problem for me. Taskmaster deserved more.
Taskmaster deserved a lot more.
Taskmaster deserved more. I'm not saying that Taskmaster should have been like the main villain or whatever. They're gonna do what you do, but like, come on, man. Taskmaster got all the moves, then copied all of these things, and is a killing machine. And yet we didn't see Taskmaster kill not one person. Because like Taskmaster didn't really fade anybody that seriously.
No.
And for that we got to say, disappointment.
Yeah, we see Natasha get ready to go and start breaking out the Avengers. Which I guess what happened that we're on the raft because her private contractor from Handmaid's Tale got a Quinjet, which makes me the question, yo, who is dude?
Yo, I would love some more questions of who is dude. Hopefully, maybe he will appear more like in future things. But I don't know, kind of interesting character.
And that's where the movie ends. And then she finally decides to dye her hair blonde there instead of the beginning. We don't see any like MCU disguises, no ball cap and glasses.
Don't make no sense. But she a super spy though.
Just a fiery redhead fighting very loudly in the streets of Budapest, Norway.
Right, ain't been low key at all. Talking about I need to lay low. That's what tripped me out, bro. Think about all this
breaking people out of prison.
All this that just happened. She said she needed to lay low after everything that just happened with the Avengers, and then proceeds to do all of this.
Now we get to the post-credit scene, which is very short, very sweet, I guess, and we see Yelena at Natasha's grave post-Endgame, and she's doing a little grieving, and then Contessa, Madam Hydra from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, is over here blowing her nose at the gravesite very rudely.
Mad disrespectful.
It's not one of my favorite post-credit scenes, to be honest, but she quickly says, "Do you want to find the person responsible for your sister's death?" and shows her a picture of Hawkeye. Now, how low down?
Yep. So did.
So now we definitely know. We didn't want to trust her in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but now we definitely know we're not going to trust her. So I guess we got a little bit of a Dark Avengers setup. Now we know we're going to get Yelena, and we're going to see John Walker.
Yeah, perhaps it definitely seems like something's kind of cooking in that arena. At the very least, with all of us knowing that we are supposed to be getting Hawkeye on Disney Plus in TV show format, one's got to start assuming now that Yelena's character might pop up or play a role in that TV show when it comes time.
Yeah. We'll see that when we get there. This movie, I'm going to give a, I don't know, 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. So I'm 7.5.
We were whelmed.
It was sufficient. It had some good stuff. I'll definitely say on the hands meter, it's getting a very, very good 9 out of 10 on that. On
Gee,
the
I'm gonna give
hands.
it a 10 and 12 out of 10 because it's my favorite MCU movie is Civil War because of the hands, and this
Because of the
movie
hands.
has more hands than
And the
Civil
hands,
War.
yeah.
It relies on hands because we don't have any powers, no gods, no androids.
Yeah, ain't nobody messing with time
Yeah.
or nothing in this one. It was
Yeah.
just straight fists and bullets basically. Yeah, so it did excel in that. Overall, it was a good movie, but also we can't sit here and lie to you and tell you that it's the best Marvel movie ever because it ain't. It was good and
No, it isn't Civil War.
know, right? I mean, dang, it's for sure better than some ish like Iron Man 2 or something like that. And you should definitely still go see it, but you got to contextualize it.
Yeah.
I think maybe on my end, I think one reason why maybe it doesn't have the same impact that we maybe hoped or felt is because we kind of had to wait as long as we did. I feel like this would have hit very differently if they had dropped it last summer versus now.
Yes, it would have been a much better review.
More
I'm gonna be
favorable.
honest. I'm glad this is an MCU return to the streets, but this could have been dropped on Disney Plus.
Ooh. That's brutal, but I'll be honest, I don't feel the need to challenge you on that necessarily. It was offered on Disney Plus. You could have paid the $30 to watch it there on your TV.
Or I could have paid the 15 to go see it at the theater.
Yeah, I mean, we did much better than paying 30 for it. But
Yes.
that's neither here nor there. The point of the matter is, it's hard for me to necessarily say that I feel like they made the right call in holding this movie back a year. But it is out. It still has brought us some cool things, and it was good to really just, hey, this is the last time we basically are gonna really see Widow, I imagine, in any real serious, sustainable capacity, because her time on the MCU filmscape has already wrapped up.
What I need is a Disney Plus show of her breaking the Avengers out of the raft. I'll take that.
It would be cool. It would be fun. But yeah, I don't know. With that being said, that's really all we've got to say for this Black Widow joint. Marvel's staying busy, so we'll be here again soon. When September rolls around, we'll be here to do this exact same thing when your boy Shang-Chi comes through.
Mm-hmm. And we're about to bust open that What If trailer for y'all too. So if y'all don't mind, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave y'all's thoughts in the comments.
Please do let us know. Maybe we're completely off base and we don't even understand the masterpiece that we just watched.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah. Also follow us on all socials at Culture Core Academy. I'm Ping. This is Caleb.
Yep.
And class is dismissed.
Peace out, everybody.